Deion Sanders is in the news. Why does this look like Brashear Gray from
Oh yeah.
Have you been seeing
the crash out?
Yeah. Brashear, what is going on? Anyway, this is Shiloh. This is Shiloh and Shedeur. Anyway, his amazing sons who are doing very well. All right, well, listen, Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Coach Prime, recently addressed all of the controversy surrounding his two sons in the NFL. Now, Shiloh and Shedeur Sanders, as you know, both have entered the NFL. Let me just give them a round of applause really quick. Black excellence. Okay, two apples who didn't fall too far from the big tree. Hey, Karuchi. That's her boyfriend. I could give her a shout out. That's my friend. Hey, Kay. Huh?
She just caught a stray.
Kay Saunders. Now, we know this past April, Shedeur, a potential number 1 draft pick, was skipped until the 5th round, which was shady as hell, finally being drafted to the Cleveland Browns after their 144th pick. Now, collusion rumors began circulating, accusing the NFL of telling all 32 teams not to sign Shedeur to teach that boy a lesson, and their dad, a hard lesson on humility. Something that people think that they don't have. Now, Pro Football Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson even alleged that the Browns weren't going to sign Shedeur until someone made a call. Take a listen.
And I'll tell you this much here, what I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him, do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source, And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
really?
Him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him. They were forced into drafting him because somebody made a call to them. They were going to have him, he was not going to get drafted to basically show you this is what happens when you do this. I mean, look, McFred, the NFL got all kind of power. They do all kind of stuff. You know that, and I know it too. When I saw it, when he went to the second one, I said, I said it out loud. They're not going to draft him. They're going to make an example out of him. I knew it.
Do you think
so the guy that they drafted, the quarterback they drafted ahead of him, he wasn't as good as Shedeur. He even said it. I mean, how do you draft a guy that you know that's not better than the guy that you drafted after? That don't even make sense.
Do you think Shedeur knew they wanted to make an example out of him?
I don't think he realized to the extent that the NFL would go to make an example out of him. No, I don't think he knew that. I don't think his dad knew. I'll just say it. They don't like when guys have brands, especially black players. And that's mostly us with the brand. We kind of, some guys are flashy and all that kind of stuff. They don't like that. He had already made $17 million from a car deal that he already signed. A car deal. He had $17 million already for that. Then he had another 14, I think, from was it a shoe, Nike or some shoe deal. So he was good with money wise, but I know he wants to play in the National Football.
As Cleveland signed Shedeur, his brother Shiloh went undrafted. And was soon signed to the team in Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers, as a free agent. Now, this meant he had to walk a straight line and overly prove himself to make the team after preseason was over. However, during the Bucs' final preseason game, he lost his cool defending himself and ended up not only getting ejected from the game, but from the team and the NFL. During the season quarter of the game, Shiloh, who plays safety, was being heavily blocked, shoved, and pushed by Buffalo Bills tight end Zach Davidson. And we got the video. Take a look.
That's the tight end, Zach Davidson. And a swing, Sanders. Right there. And a shove back.
That's not going to be good.
He hit him first.
Mm-hmm. It was in response to the same behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we saying that the rules apply to black people differently than white people in the NFL? The Bucs ejected Shiloh from the game, and less than 24 hours later, they waived him. For the non-sport fans, being waived means following the NFL draft and during the preseason teams, they have to trim their players down to 53 before the main season. Shiloh made it an easy call by swinging back at the guy. Now, after the incident, his agents hoped to get him signed to another team, but regardless of how things shake out, Shiloh's dad, Deion, is keeping the faith. Here's what he tweeted after Shiloh got cut and amid collusion rumors regarding Shedeur. He said, "Let's go. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow ain't promised. Therefore, today we'll get everything I got. Coach Prime. Trust God." Then he retweeted, "From my earliest youth, my enemies have persecuted me, but they have never defeated me." And then he said, "Lord, I thank you for it all." Now, when directly asked about Shiloh being waived, Deion said all of his boys will be good. Listen.
Hey, just got to talk to you about, NFL is a tough business. Shiloh had, some bad. It's just, have you talked to him and how are his spirits?
Most definitely. He's my son. I'm proud of my kids, all of them. And I prepared my kids for any and everything that could possibly happen in life and in sports. That's part of fathering. That's part of parenting. That's part of having a relationship. So he is mentally where he needs to be, physically where he needs to be. We're praying that he gets another opportunity to go with a team. But if he doesn't, the plans have already been put forward to what he's going to do next. So Shiloh is a man of many talents. I don't know if you guys know, he's a man of many talents, and he's going to be straight. All the Sanders are going to be straight, with or without football. You better believe that. You better believe that.
Doesn't seem like, I mean, I love the fact that, Deion, that you're involved in your kid's life because you're a father, a black man, great example of getting their kids to the finish line, supporting them all the way through. But sometimes our stage parents can kind of be a little too much. Don't we think it's time now that he backs off and let them live their adult lives since they've made it this far?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know nothing about football, but I feel like there's powers above that hate Deion Sanders, and then the kids are just kind of like getting like the shit end of the stick to pay for like their dad's transgressions. And I do feel like black, white, music, athletes, like there is a problem with like Nepo babies. Like I think that they get a lot of stuff without working for it, but these guys clearly are good at what they do and their craft. So this just seems like directed towards hate for the dad, for Deion.
Yeah, and I personally think he should use his voice in this circumstance, especially because his kids are being unfairly targeted. So I think him publicly speaking up about it brings more attention to it. And I think more attention does need to be brought to these situations. Like we clearly just looked at a clip where he was penalized for repeating the behavior that someone else initiated. So it's like he's going to continue to face that, especially with his dad being Deion Sanders. But I think his father's in the right position for this specifically, to stand up for his kids and like speak publicly about his kids. And I think he's right. They're probably going to be okay. They're rich. They're going to be fine. Their father's a legend. They're becoming legends. I think they'll be fine. But at the same time, there's something that still hurts when a person is like pursuing something that they really, really love, and then the powers that be are preventing them from.
Well, this is the crazy part. I've lived long enough to watch Deion Sanders on the Cowboys and watch his career and this and that. Deion Sanders hasn't done anything but been great and cocky, and that's what they don't like. You're good and cocky. Wait, is that what's going on with me? I kind of feel like when they can't beat you at your game, they make up stuff where they create madness, which is typical. And so in this respect, I mean, I when I say I think you should kind of step back, I think you got to let them get off the training wheels and walk on their own for a while too, right? Like he made $17 million, what we talked about. I mean, they've done the work, and they made it not on their father's laurels, but on their own hard work. And I do feel like part of success is allowing your kids the opportunity to kind of go out there and walk on your own 2 feet. I don't think he should disappear, but I do think you got to let them make their own mistakes or whatever. To your point, though, they are being wrongfully targeted, in part because they're his son, so he probably feels some guilt, like I got to protect them as Papa Bear. I wish that this wasn't the story. I wish this was more about how long him and Carucci have been dating and how they hooked up and where they met and what the hell is going on. Because Carucci, I have not slid in your good little DMs yet, but I'm going to at some point because I want to know. I did talk to Tracy Edmonds, though, but I'm not going to get into that conversation.
Period.
I know everybody. Is it crazy? I'm friends with Babyface, who's Tracy Edmonds' ex-husband. But I talked to Tracy Edmonds, who's Deion Sanders' ex-fiance, and I'm friends with Carucci before all these people who I hooked up with Chris Brown, but Chris is selling out arenas and she's on the bedside. It's all messy. That's why I love not being a celebrity in the sense of him not in this pool with all of you people. I get to dip my toe in for work, and guess what? Now I'm about to dip my toe out. Goodbye, Deion, and thank you for coming to the show.